Indonesia is well known as one of the world's biggest rubber producer. The dynamics of rubber global market contributing an ups and down for the industry. And in this segment, I would like to present to you some data about the dynamics of Indonesia's rubber industry. And the first data will be about Indonesia's rubber export performance. This is the data of the rubber export performance in 2017 and 2018. In 2017, the value of rubber export reached 2.7 million tons. In 2018, actually the number was increased to 2.8 million tons, and it was increasing 1.08% per year. Around 85% of Indonesia's rubber production is exported. Almost half export is shipped to other ASEAN countries, followed by North America and Europe. Meanwhile, Indonesia's downstream rubber industry is still underdeveloped. Today, the country depends on imports of processed rubber products due to the lack of domestic processing facilities and the lack of well-developed manufacturing industry. And talking about this year's rubber export performance from January to March 2019, it was decreasing compared to the same period in 2018. To have a better description on the performance, we're going to see the next slide. This is Indonesia's rubber export performance in January to March 2018 to 2019. So the number was actually increasing compared to the same period last year. In 2018, the number was 1.29 million tons, but in 2019, the number was decreased to 1.08 million tons. And even based on 2017 to 2018's data, that the rubber export has shown improvement by year, but export performance data during January to May 2019 was decreased compared to the previous period. The country's rubber entrepreneurs are shrouded in concern about the availability of raw material supplies due to the potential for a decline in production. According to the advisor to the Rubber Association of Indonesia, or Gapkindo, the decline in export itself was also influenced by government policies to cut the volume of rubber export in April. The largest rubber producing countries, which are members of the International Tripartite Rubber Council, or ITRC, has discussed proposal to cut the amount of rubber export to 300,000 tons in 2019 to encourage rising rubber prices. And which countries actually that has the largest amount of rubber producing? Let's see the next data. As I mentioned to you before, Indonesia is one of the biggest rubber exporter in the world. After Indonesia, we've got Thailand, and of course Malaysia, with the volume of the rubber exported from these countries: Thailand $4.6 billion, Indonesia $4 billion, and Malaysia $936.5 million. The three countries account for around 70% of the world's natural rubber production. Thailand ranks first in natural rubber production in the world. The Southeast Asian country has a monsoon climate, which is most suitable for vegetative growth of rubber plant. Southern Thailand region has the maximum plantation. These three countries include in the International Tripartite Rubber Council, or ITRC. In a recent meeting, reiterated the importance of the agreed export tonnage schemes implementation as an effective instrument to address the transient stock imbalance from the global market. In June 27 meeting held at Krabi, Thailand, it confirmed that the implementation of the scheme in member countries are in order as all related domestic producers and arrangements have been finalized and in place. For the detail on agreed export tonnage scheme, we are going to see the next graphic. Thailand needs to cut 234,000 tons from its rubber productivity. Malaysia needs to cut its rubber productivity to 20,000 tons, and Indonesia need to cut rubber's productivity to 95,000 tons. And the world's top producers of natural rubber in a joint statement that they would curb export by up to 240,000 tons over a 4-month period in a bid to prop up a global prices for the commodity. The agreed export tonnage scheme will be implemented for 4 months starting April. The step follows an agreement in late 2017 to cut natural rubber export to 350,000 tons for 3 months. Malaysia and Thailand has executed the rubber export cutback. And how about Indonesia? And we're going to see in implementing export tonnage, we're going to see the next data. And we're kind of hoping for the best for Indonesia's rubber industry. And stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.